Yes, the recording is on. So, guys, how are you all? And Mapara, what's your longest streak in the class? Presence streak. How many days have you been present back to back for the longest? The longest streak you made here, attendance streak. I think it's been 2 days. After 2 days, she always
Last
goes
day,
absent. Hmm. So, everybody, we had some lovely homework on Saturday in the practice book. Yeah, but mainly we'll focus on the practice book homework today. Two people talk about their childhood. They tell you whether how their childhood was. Happy childhood, unhappy childhood. Yes, please go take it. Okay, the key. Now you have your own bicycle. Gee. Okay. So who is the first character in our audio? The first character is Pete. So what do we know about Pete? He was born in London. Okay. And his parents were poor. His parents were, no? His father was a taxi driver and his mom was a cleaner. Right. What kind of student was he? What kind of student was he? A good student or a bad student? Not a popular student, but was he a good student or a bad student? He was a good student. How do you know? He could learn to read and write when he was only right. So it means he was a good student. And today he is a today he is a journalist. Yeah. He's a journalist today. Journalists are usually intelligent people. If you're not an intelligent student, you can't be a journalist. Hmm. So the other character was, what is her name? Olivia. What a nice name. Olivia. Do you like this name? The sound of it? Olivia. Olivia. Okay. So what about Olivia's childhood? What do you know? She was born in Africa. You know, Shashi doesn't say Africa correctly. He says Africa. It is not Africa. It is Africa. All right. In Hindi, Africa, but in English, Africa. Okay. So she was born in Africa. In which country in Africa? In Tanzania, right? Why? Because her mother was there, her grandfather was there, and her father visited Africa after university. Okay, fine. Let's talk about the question answers here. Please come in. Good afternoon, Umar. When I was a child, listen to Pete and Olivia talking about their childhood and complete the chart. I am playing the audio right now. If anybody has not done exercise 1, they'll do it now. I'm playing the audio, everybody.
Unit 5, Exercise 6, Parts 1 to 3.
I was born in London in
Exercise 6, Parts 1 to 3.
Pete. I was born in London in East London. Both my parents were born in London too. My dad was a taxi driver and my mum was a cleaner. My first school was next to our house. That was good, but I think I was quite clever, you see. I could read and write when I was just 6 or 7, but I wasn't much good at sport. I couldn't play football like the other boys. I couldn't really kick a ball at all. I wasn't popular at school, so my childhood wasn't very happy. My next school was a really good one in the city centre, Westminster School, and after that, Oxford University. Now I'm a journalist and I love my work. My mum and dad still live in the same street. I often visit them, but when I see my old school, I can still feel how unhappy I was there.
Olivia.
I'm married. I have 2 children, a son and a daughter. I live in Exeter in the southwest of England, but I wasn't born in England. I was born in East Africa, in Tanzania. My mum and dad were teachers there at the time. My mum's German, but she was born in Tanzania because my grandfather worked there. My dad is English. He's from the north of England, but after university he wanted to travel to Africa. My mum and dad were married there, and my brothers and I were born there. We were there until I was 10, and my brothers were 8 and 5. We were at the same school together. It wasn't in the town, it was in the bush, and it was great fun. There were only 2 classes, one for the young children, who were 5 and 6, and the other was for 6 to 11-year-old children. We couldn't play outside, it was too hot, and there were snakes. School finished at 1 o'clock every day, and our house was near the sea, so we could all go swimming every afternoon. My childhood was very happy, all sunshine and swimming.
5, Exercise 6, Parts 1 to 3.
Pete. I was born in London.
So, look at the questions in the chart, everybody. What is the question about Pete? First question. Where was he born? When you read, try to teach yourself that, okay, this is my sentence. When the book is not with me, I will still be able to say this sentence. Ask yourself, क्या आप ये sentence सीख गए? Did you learn this sentence? क्या आप ये कहीं बोल लेंगे? Where was Pete born? Where was Pete born? Answer? Yeah. When we answer, we don't repeat Pete. We simply say he. Because what's the need to repeat the noun? We can say the pronoun. He was born in London, East London. All right, fine. Second question is, where were his parents born? Answer? His parents were born in London too. They were also born in London. They were also born in London. If we use also, we will use also in the middle of the sentence. If we don't want to use also, we can use the word TOO2, but at the end of the sentence. We can say, they were also born in London, or we can say, they were born in London too. Next, beta. Next question, number 3. What were his parents' jobs? And the answer is his father was a taxi driver and his mom was a cleaner. Right. Next question. What couldn't he do? What couldn't he do? What was the thing that he couldn't do? He couldn't play football. He couldn't play like the other boys. There are some children, they are very bad at sports. There are some children, they are really, really bad at sports. Okay. We have a chair here for you. We have a chair here for you. Okay. Come sit here and try not to move much because that chair is very noisy. Hmm. Okay. So what couldn't he do? He couldn't play football. Do you know some children, if you ask them to throw a ball, they do this and the ball will go only this far. Other children can throw the ball very far, right? Some children, when they kick the ball, a football, it goes very far. But some other children, when they kick the ball, it doesn't go any far at all, okay? So what kind of child were you? Could you play games well? Were you sporty? Sporty. I know Asim is very sporty. He's very good at cricket. I played cricket with him. What about the rest of you? You guys are good at sports? You're sporty? Yeah. Anybody who is not very good at sports, nobody chooses you in their team. Anybody here who is really bad at games? Football, cricket, kabaddi, anything? Uh, Anybody? Sajid, you're good at sports? Not so good at sports. Not at all. So Sajid is Pete is like Sajid. Yeah. If somebody asks you to ball, you can't ball. If somebody asks you to bat, you can't bat at all. Even catches, you drop the catches too easily. Yeah, means I understand what happens. Not everybody is good at everything. Not everybody is good at everything. Rishabh, how about you, Rishabh? Were you good at sports, Rishabh?
Yes, sir.
When you were a child, are
I
you good
like.
at sports now, Rishabh?
Yes, I like playing kabaddi.
You play kabaddi?
Yes.
That's nice. Okay, good. So this boy, Pete, wasn't good at sports. He couldn't play football. And last question, was it a happy childhood? It wasn't very happy. Nobody likes to be unpopular child or a child nobody notices. Sometimes what happens in a class, at school, nobody notices you. You're always alone. You don't have many friends. Nobody talks to you much. People don't know your name. I was like that. When I was at school, I didn't have many friends. I was a quiet child. Only some teachers noticed me because I was quite good at studies. So the teachers noticed me. And the boys and the girls, they rarely noticed me. They didn't talk to me much. I had a small circle of 5, 6 friends only. The people I sat with, that's it. The rest of the students didn't talk to me. I didn't talk to them. They ignored me. I felt bad, but there was nothing I could do. I wasn't very popular. Which children are more popular at school? Yes. Yes. My answer is also yes. Yes. So would you like to make your conversation public? I think she asked you something. What did she ask you? Yeah, tell him. she doesn't have a problem. You can tell me. Go on. I'm waiting. Okay, Mapara, you tell me. She doesn't want to. Yes. Come on, Mapara, tell me. You had this conversation in English or in Hindi? In Hindi. Oh, don't talk to each other in Hindi. Now say it. I will try and express it in English for you. Go ahead. Share it in Hindi. Hindi में बताओ. She's talking about herself or me? हाँ. तुम लोग का gang था. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's easy, beta. That's why we are learning English now. Let's express it in English. So you were not popular. You had very few friends, but we had a gang of friends. We had gangs. Yeah, I know. Some people have had gangs at school. I know. So Mapra had gang, and you too. Okay. She had a gang. So you asked her, or you? What did you say? Apne, she told you. Okay. But I noticed that you started the conversation. I noticed that you went to her. She started the conversation. Okay. So remember, conversation when you have with each other, try to talk to each other in English. It is very, very important. Let me explain why it is important. If I ask you to live with new parents tomorrow in one day, do you think it is possible? If I force you, you will live with them, new parents, but suppose I put a gun to your head, go live with them. Then you will go and live with them. But will you think of them as your parents? If I ask you to make a new best friend all of a sudden in one day, now leave your old best friend and use a new best friend, is it possible? As these are emotional decisions, similarly, switching language is a very emotional decision. If you guys have grown up speaking Hindi and you are a teenager and you have not spoken another language, it's going to be a very, very emotional decision to change that language, to switch to another language. So no matter how much you learn, you are not going to be able to switch to another language until you develop that emotional connection with this new language. And when you enter this room and you do not tell yourself that you are here to learn English, if you are not conscious about it, that I'm here to learn English, it's not going to be easy for you to communicate in English, no matter how much I teach you and how much you learn. So you need to develop this connection with English, emotional connection. Forget about language, knowledge, grammar, vocabulary, structure, all those things aside. An emotional connection with English. And that doesn't depend on knowledge of the words only. That depends on your intent, your desire. I want to speak this language. Think about it this way. You have a best friend, but you're curious about another person in the class. Then don't you want to talk to him? Similarly, I said curious, and I didn't say boy or girl, so do not take it in a different direction. Okay. I was saying, I didn't know Rudra is so tall. Who's the shortest guy at the back? Nasir Hussain. Nasir, please come and sit where Rudra is sitting. Rudra, you are sitting like, Shivling in the middle of a lot of gods, really tall and big, you know. Beta, switch your seats. Yeah. Nasir, you come here. I needed, yeah, yeah. Wait. Okay. So yeah, people. So try and start that process of, getting emotionally connected to this language by talking to each other in English a little bit. Mm. See, talk about Olivia. The first question is, where was she born? And we all know she was born in Tanzania. Okay. How many of you were not very popular in invisible student? Invisible means nobody noticed you that you were there. Invisible means not able, you can't be seen. Mr. India was invisible when he put that watch on. Okay, he would become invisible. So invisible in Hindi, perfect, right? Invisible, you can't be seen. Not literally invisible, but in a way, like you are present in the class, but nobody notices you, nobody talks to you. It means you are invisible. They can't see you in a way. So how many of you had that kind of personality at school, that you were invisible, nobody noticed you? Really? I don't think it is possible. I don't think it is possible. You are one of those students nobody notices. We all know you here. Everybody knows you here. Guys, do you know a girl called Ayat? No, we don't know. Who is Ayat? No, we don't know any Ayat in this room. Ayat, who is Ayat? No, we don't know Ayat. We all know Ayat. So you're not invisible here. Are you invisible at school? Really? In Aya, you can't be invisible. Yeah, I know. I know. Her naughty smile, the smile she has. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Ayat, you think you're invisible, but I'm pretty sure you're not. How many friends do you have at school? Zero. But the other day you said that you have one friend. She said, and what name did she mention? Priya. Priya is your old friend, good friend. She was her friend, and now she's not a friend. Has she changed school, or she has fallen out with her? She has quarreled with her, or she has gone to another school? She is, she, she left. So she went to another school. Then she is in class 3. She jumped a class. You are in 2 or 3 or 4. You are also in class 3. She's also in class 3. She is in class 2. She failed. So she is in class 2 and you are in class 3 now. So you don't talk to each other much because you are in different classes. Oh, I understand. What a loss. Why didn't you help her in the exam? Why did she fail? Because you didn't help her. You should have helped her. Next time when you make a friend, okay, help her in the exam so that she can also pass the exam to be with you. Otherwise, you will go to class 4th and your friend will stay in class 3. Or make friends with intelligent girls who can pass exams without any help from you. Okay. Anybody else? Who? Ayat raised her hand that she's kind of invisible in school. What about you? Anybody else here? You guys all have good number of friends and you're popular at school. You guys participate in extracurricular activities like singing, dancing, and stuff like that? I never participated in any of those things. Those who sing, who dance, who play, they are usually very popular. Everybody knows them. Not only the students in the class, the students in other school, the whole school know them, right? Clappers. Okay. Okay. Fine. How about you, Sahil? What kind of student were you at school? Popular or not so popular? Then why did you not raise your hand? How many friends did you have at school? You had about 10 friends. And other students knew your name or they didn't know your name? They knew your name. I think my classmates didn't know my name. Okay. And I didn't want them to know my name. It was Rinku, a girl's name. So I wanted to hide my name as well. Only close friends. Okay, fine. So what do I say next? About Olivia. Where were her parents born? Her mother was born in Tanzania, but her father was born in England. इंग्लैंड हमने तो नहीं सुना इंग्लैंड इसमें इंग्लैंड हमने ऑडियो में इंग्लैंड नहीं सुना इंग्लैंड सुना तो आप ऑडियो में इंग्लैंड सुनते और यहाँ के इंग्लैंड बोलते हैं ऐसा क्यों क्योंकि बचपन से इंग्लैंड इंग्लैंड बोल रहे हैं अच्छा एक बात बताओ बचपन से सारे लोगों ने सुना था एट द रेट एट द रेट एट द रेट यहाँ आके आपने सुना एट तो आपने उस पर गौर किया और वही बोलने लगे ना तो ट्राई एंड चेंज दिस एज वेल इट इज नॉट इंग्लैंड इट इज इंग्लैंड ओके इट इज इंग्लैंड और यही है कुडंट कुडंट नहीं कुडंट अच्छा होता क्या है व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस व्हेन यू से इंग्लैंड तो आप लैंड वाले हिस्से पे जोर डाल देते हैं ज्यादा इसलिए ऐसा साउंड करता है इंग्लैंड राइट और हम कह रहे हैं आगे पे ही जोर डाले इंग्लैंड जोर कहां डाला आगे और क्या बोला है इंग्लैंड इंग्लैंड ओके पीछे कुछ जोर डालना ही नहीं है लैंड बोलना ही नहीं है उसको इंग्लैंड ओके वैसे ही कुडंट में आप डंट पे जोर डालते हो कू पे नहीं कू पे ही जोर डाल लो couldn't 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 हाँ कू पे जोर डालो डंट पे जोर नहीं डालो शुरुआत में ही स्ट्रेस है इन दोनों वर्ड्स के इंग्लैंड couldn't okay don't worry you will learn if you are paying attention moving on to the next question the next question is what were her parents jobs both her mother and her father were teachers can you repeat both her mother and father were teachers okay they were teachers both of them they were both teachers they were both teachers हिंदी में दोनों टीचर्स थे दोनों पढ़ाते थे दोनों शिक्षक थे they were both teachers next sentence beta what couldn't Olivia do she couldn't play outside the school why there were snakes and the weather was too hot yeah Africa is a very hot country means African countries are hot most of them last one was it a happy childhood for Olivia why you remember the reason don't worry if you forget something it's all right listen to it and then try to answer okay but most important thing is to try and feel what the story is I think the story was that her school was near the sea so they went swimming they went every afternoon they went swimming right now think about this kind of childhood that your school is near the sea and every afternoon after school you go to the sea and you swim in the water Can it get any better than this? Life is fun, especially for small children. And another good thing, they didn't have pressure of exams. Olivia studied in a special school. There were only 2 classes, and there were no exams because the first class was for small children, 5 and 6 years old, and the other class was for 6 to 10, 11-year-old children. So they didn't do any exams. And you know how children hate exams. How many of you like exams? How many of you hate exams? Okay, you guys, you like exams. And you too. And who else likes exams here? You like exams? You guys like exams? There is always this chance I'll fail. No exams. Okay, let me tell you. There is a way of thinking. Some educators think exams are totally unnecessary. Exams are totally unnecessary. In ideal conditions, there should be no exam, because learning is a natural process. And natural process doesn't need to be checked whether it is happening properly or not. Has your mother ever taken you to the doctor to ask कि मेरा बच्चा सही से बड़ा हो रहा है कि नहीं? Only when they notice something, that your body is not growing, your height is not increasing, then they worry. Otherwise, they don't. Do you think all family members go to the doctor one by one? Today we will get our body tested whether we are healthy or not. So learning is a natural process. If the situation is right, everybody will learn. Whether you do exams or not doesn't matter. You will learn, you will grow. Learning is a natural process. What happens if the methods are not nice? If the situation is not ideal for learning, then you have to check whether they are learning or not. Ideally, one teacher should teach 20, 25 students in a class, not more than that. Okay. If it is 12 students, 15 students, even better. But problem is, if you have one teacher for 12 or 15 students, then you will need a lot of teachers. And schools can't pay that much money to teachers. So they ask one teacher to teach 50 students, 60 students. And this is why teachers cannot take care of each and every student properly, because too many students he has to look after, she has to look after. Remove the number. Bring 5 teachers. Divide 60 students into 5 classes. 12 students for one teacher. Suddenly, things change. Quality improves. The students don't have to go home and write down some sentences, and the teacher will just tick them like this. Third class. Ideally, this is not how students should study. If you want to know a great education system, learn about Finland. The Finnish education system is #1 education system in the world. What is good about it? Also, students spend less time at school than other students in India and America and other countries. In India and America, students spend a lot of time at school, 6, 7, 8 hours on a daily basis, right? There in Finland, they spend 4 to 5 hours, much less than here. Second, students don't take books home. No books at home. You are at home to have fun. No books at home. So if you don't have books at home, you don't need to do any homework. How amazing. Can you imagine that kind of thing? Students don't need to do any homework. Homework concept doesn't work. They don't have this concept, homework. And a lot of time students spend with teachers outside the class as well. There are a few videos available online you can watch maybe. in English as well, where some people try to replicate the same style. In America also, some schools have lesser number of students in the class. Okay. So guys, don't think what you know is the only option, is the only way. There are so many other ways, better ways. You're not aware of them. That's all. So no, exams are totally unnecessary. If your teaching system is ideal, then exams are not necessary. This class exams to go from class 2 to class 3, totally unnecessary. Yes, if you want to give them a degree, if you want to give them a, of course, there will be an exam to say how well you were prepared. But there's no exam necessary for promotion from class 1 to class 2, from class 2 to class 3. The Indian government thought they would also work on it. You know, in Bihar, for some time they removed the exams up to class 8. It was a disaster. You know, students reached class 7th and they couldn't write their names. They couldn't do addition. They were in class 7th and 8th. They couldn't do addition, nothing. Because they just removed the exams, but they did not change the circumstances, the environment for learning. You know, exams are unnecessary in perfect conditions, in ideal conditions. But conditions are not ideal here. Why I don't ask you guys to do exams? Why don't I ask you to do exams? Because I believe in my process 100%. I know what I'm doing here with you. It is absolutely contributing to your learning. And I don't want to stress you unnecessarily. Sometimes I give you some exercises to do, but I've never said, hey, this guy got 99, hey, this guy got 85. I have never experienced that here yet, and you will not experience it ever. I will not give you 10 words to memorize because I know you're learning vocabulary because I'm talking to you in English. So it is natural. When did you learn all these words in Hindi? Sankoch, Sankuchit, Sahanubhuti, Rashansa. How did you learn these? Which dictionary? Which day did you sit down and memorize these words? Did you know them when you were 5 years old? All these words that I said, but today you understand them. How did you understand them? How did you learn? How did you grow up to understand them? Because these words kept coming around you, across you in different sentences. So you need to hear English words. You need to read English words a lot. And slowly, you guys will develop a great vocabulary. Let's open the windows and the door. After a long time, we are feeling hot in the class. Earlier we were not feeling hot because the weather was really cool. I think it's humid there. Okay. And this is the reason why some students who go to quality school, they, without being tortured to learn English, without being tortured to memorize vocabulary, they develop a very good vocabulary. They can write stories in English. They can write their experiences in English. They become writers, journalists, all these things without having any pressure. Because as you guys develop your Hindi vocabulary from the environment, they have lots of teachers throughout school, they have multiple teachers talking to them in English. And all this English input helps them grow a good vocabulary of English. But again, those schools are different from the schools you guys go. Your schools will be 1 out of 10, and those schools will be 7 or 8 out of 10 at ratings. The schools that you went to don't deserve more than 1 or 2 points out of 10. There's nothing there. They put you in the class like this. Okay, even this class is not perfect. It can be even better. Even this class can be better. What do I need to do? I need to slash the number of the students, half, 15 students maximum in the class. Okay, but I know I can't afford it. If I have only 15 students, then in the whole day I will teach 75 students only, So that's why, we have to have more students, unfortunately. Education is not cheap. And when education is cheap, usually you have to compromise with the quality. Yeah, it can be free. Somebody else is paying for you. Free for you, but it cannot be cheap. You understand what I mean? You go to a government school, fantastic school with all the facilities, you are paying nothing, but somebody else is paying for all those expenses. But these private schools that charge you, 1,000, 2,000 rupees a month, they can't afford to give you any quality education with that money. They can't. It's impossible. So education, a lot of experts believe, should not be a private affair. There should be no private institutes for education. Everything should be government. All students should get free education, whether they are the children of an IS officer or they're the children of a daily wage worker, somebody, a builder or a vegetable seller. All children should go to the same school and they should get the same quality education so that they have an equal chance of competing with each other. You see what happens if you are a vegetable seller today, you send your child to a third class school. And if you are rich and you can afford, then you send your children to better schools. Now they are preparing with different kinds of people, so they can't compete with each other. This child will always fail competing with this child. That's the problem. Unless he's exceptionally talented. If both of them have equal amount of talent, because this student is getting better educators, better school, he will always be better than this child. This is unfair. His lifestyle will never improve. He will never be able to compete with this child. That's the problem. So I look at these things so closely. No wonder I did not send my daughter to school. Because I understand these things. I thought, why send my daughter to a third class school? Right? So I did not send her to school. I said, I will take care of you. I'll educate you at home. So my daughter was homeschooled. When she was 10 years old, then 10, in 2020, 11, 10, 11. Then my wife, she joined a school as a teacher because she wanted to just have some career. I said, all right, fine. Personally, I thought she should have done something else maybe, but she wanted to teach. I said, all right. So she said, can I take Aditi with me there? I said, all right. So for a couple of years, she went to school, and again, the foundation that we built, when she joined school, she was in class 7th already. Okay. So up to that, I was the only teacher she had. And what do I believe in? Natural learning. There is information. If it is presented to you in an interesting way, you will definitely be, keen. Okay, tell me what. So we went to Nalanda, we looked at Nalanda, Kandahar, and then we talked about it in the book, Nalanda, Kandahar. She was interested naturally, but your schools don't take you anywhere, right? So counting, addition, subtraction, you know how I taught my daughter counting and all these things? I taught her with the help of cashew, बादाम. ने कहा देखो 10 हैं तो मैं खा गया. अब इसमें कहाँ पढ़ाई हो रही है? अब वो काउंट करो तुम. ठीक है. तो पढ़ाई किधर थी? There was no पढ़ाई. It was all entertainment. And NCERT books were great help. I only taught her with NCERT books from class 1. And of course, I had to do a lot of studies myself. मुझे खुद पढ़ना पड़ा था about psychology of children and these things so that, I could do it properly. I used to teach her when she was 2 years old as well, but my teaching was something that only some people know. I won't say nobody knows, some people know. Like, for example, if you're eating and there are 4, 5 things, 5, 6 things in your plate, you can teach your child something there as well. The most important thing for your child is to learn patterns. देखो बेटा, सीखना मतलब होता है ऑब्जर्वेशन कि क्या होगा आगे, जो चल रहा है उसके हिसाब से. दुनिया में पहले ज्यादा लोग भगवान को मानते थे कि अब. Let's say 100 years ago, 200 years ago. अभी कम लोग मानते हैं. और ये ट्रेंड कैसे जा रहा है? तो आगे 1000 साल बाद क्या होगा? क्या होगा अगर ट्रेंड चेंज ना हो तो? ट्रेंड चेंज ना हो, ट्रेंड जस का तस चले, ट्रेंड चेंज होने के लिए कुछ सर्कमस्टांसेस होते हैं। सपोज ऊपर से आ जाए भगवान विष्णु, हाँ जी हम हैं, ले अब तो सब मानने लग जाएगा, बात अलग हो गया। ऑलराइट, बट इफ दैट डजंट हैपन, अगर ऐसा ना हुआ, जो कि चांसेस है कि नहीं होगा, ऑलराइट, तो फिर ट्रेंड चलना है। फिर क्या होगा? तो ट्रेंड को पहचानना इज स्मार्टनेस। तो आई यूज्ड टू आस्क अदिति, जैसे 6 चीज है तो मैंने एक दिया, दूसरा दिया, तीसरा दिया, उसके बाद फिर चौथा दिया, उसको कहता था कि अब बताओ कि क्या आ सकता है इसके बाद, अब कौन सा चीज हम तुम्हारे मुंह में डालने वाले हैं। एक खास पैटर्न में डालते थे कि पहले 3 चीज में ये 3 डाल रहे हैं, तो उसको ऑब्जर्व करना होता था कि पापा ये दे रहे हैं मुंह में तो अब ये आएगा। ठीक है, तो ऑब्जर्व करना पैटर्न, वहीं से बच्चे की पढ़ाई शुरू होती है। प्ले स्कूल जैसे ना, प्ले स्कूल में जाते हैं बच्चे, प्ले स्कूल में क्या करते हैं, आप जैसी कुछ लड़कियां होती है सुंदर सुंदर सी, 7-8 हज़ार रुपए दे देते हैं उनको 6 घंटे के लिए, 5 घंटे के लिए, आप भी खुश। 8 हज़ार रुपये ब्याह में मायने रखता है, एक लड़की लेके आए घर अपने, उसका लिपस्टिक भी आ जाता है उसमें, और 2 अच्छे अच्छे सलवार समीज भी आ जाती है उसमें। सो शी इज हैप्पी, एंड जो पेरेंट्स होते हैं बच्चे के, वो दे मीट दैट प्रीटी गर्ल, हाँ आप ही पढ़ाते हैं मेरे बाबू को, वो भी खुश, इतनी सुंदर लड़की उनके बाबू को पढ़ा रही है, उसके बहाने वो भी बात कर ले रहा है थोड़ा सा। वो दिस इज द ब्रूटल रियलिटी दोस्त। 90 आउट ऑफ 10, 100 पेरेंट्स जो जाते हैं स्कूल, वो टीचर के शक्ल देख के बच्चे की खुश हो जाते हैं। बच्चा क्या कर रहा है प्ले स्कूल में? प्ले स्कूल, यू सी व्हाट इज प्ले स्कूल? प्ले स्कूल इज अ ग्रेट कॉन्सेप्ट। मैंने अभी क्या बताया, मैंने अदिति को किताब को भी थमाई, नो, आई वाज टीचिंग हर थ्रू पैटर्न, व्हाइल शी वाज हैविंग हर मील्स। मैंने बताया काजू खिला खिला करके मैंने उसको काउंटिंग सिखा दी और सब्ट्रैक्शन एडिशन सिखा दिया, कलम कॉपी भी नहीं पकड़ा था उसने। तो you need to have such abilities, such skills. You need to be trained to do such things. आप मुझे बताएं, जितने प्ले स्कूल में टीचर्स लड़कियां काम कर रही हैं, उनमें से कितने ये सब चीजें सोचने के काबिल अभी फिलहाल? उनको लगे ऐसा, हाँ ऐसा हो सकता है, हाँ सही बोल रहे हैं। उनमें से कुछ कहेगा इससे करेंगे तो इससे हो जाए, मतलब उनको अप्रिशिएट करने की भी क्षमता नहीं है इस क्वालिटी को। तो द स्कूल्स हियर suck. The schools here are absolutely, I will make a very strong statement. Students do not learn because of school, they learn despite school. वो स्कूल जाने की वजह से नहीं सीखते, स्कूल जाने के बावजूद सीखते हैं। हिंदी में समझ में आई बात? वो स्कूल जाने की वजह से नहीं सीखते, स्कूल जाने के बावजूद सीखते हैं। यानी स्कूल का क्या रोल है, समझ में आया? सिखाना के सीखने के रास्ते में रोड़े अटकाना। क्योंकि मैंने कहा वो स्कूल जाने के बावजूद सीख जाते हैं, इसका मतलब स्कूल जाना उनके सीखने में हेल्प नहीं कर रहा, स्कूल उनको सिर्फ हेल्प रोक रहा है सीखने से। बिकॉज द स्कूल सेज यहां से यहां तक आंसर है, लो सीखो मत। बताना मुझे, इफ यू डू नॉट स्टडी इन दैट काइंड ऑफ स्कूल प्लीज, ओके, यहां से यहां तक आंसर है। There are some small schools, poor people, they are not really earning a lot of money, but they're trying, from a little bit. But most good schools, big schools that you guys think of, a lot of them at the, what they say, the first part, बच्चा लोग है तो इसमें क्या क्वालिफिकेशन चाहिए पढ़ाने के लिए, इसमें तो ऐसे ही हो जाता है। बताओ मुझे बड़ी बिल्डिंग बनानी है, लेकिन फाउंडेशन में क्या, खाली मजदूर को ले आओ, राजमिस्त्री क्या जरूरत है, इंजीनियर पागल हो, फाउंडेशन में क्या, ऊपर जाएंगे ना तब इंजीनियर लगाएंगे। कितनी समझदार वाली बात है। फाउंडेशन इज वीक बट वी विल बिल्ड अ वेरी बिग स्ट्रक्चर ऑन दैट वीक फाउंडेशन, इट्स ऑल राइट। फाइन, मूविंग ऑन। ये दर्द मेरा झलक ही जाएगा जब ना तब बात निकलेगी तो। आई हेट द स्कूल्स वी हैव हियर। Government schools are much better in terms of facilities and all, if, and the teachers qualification as well. The only thing missing from government schools is, the dedication. The teachers are not very sincere about it. They say koi sikhega, and the worst part is the teachers sometimes think अरे ये सब जात का बच्चा ये सब पढ़ेगा, ऐसे सोच के नहीं पढ़ाते। That's another, because in schools sometimes you have a big number of lower caste students, and the teacher has this mentality कि इस कास्ट के बच्चे पढ़ाई नहीं करते, तो कहेंगे इसका कौन सी पढ़ाई, लोग पढ़ेगा। Loser, he has already surrendered. As a teacher you should be trying and trying and trying, and you should be optimistic that your children will someday learn. You guys, keep making mistakes, but I never believe that you will not learn. I keep helping you because that's the most important quality of a teacher. A teacher has to be optimistic. Optimistic means he has positive opinion about the future. Things will be better in the future. Okay. Moving on, coming back to the exercise here. Exercise 2, answer the questions about P. I'm playing the audio once again to refresh your memory, and you guys will answer the questions after that, okay?
Unit 5, Exercise 6, Parts 1 to 3.
Pete. I was born in London, in East London. Both my parents were born in London too. My dad was a taxi driver and my mum was a cleaner. My first school was next to our house. That was good, but I think I was quite clever, you see. I could read and write when I was just 6 or 7, but I wasn't much good at sport. I couldn't play football like the other boys. I couldn't really kick a ball at all. I wasn't popular at school, so my childhood wasn't very happy. My next school was a really good one in the city centre, Westminster School, and after that, Oxford University. Now I'm a journalist and I love my work. My mum and dad still live in the same street. I often visit them, but when I see my old school, I can still feel how unhappy I was there.
Where was his first school? Next to his house. It was next to his house. His first school was next to his house. In Hindi, ghar ke bagal mein. 2, why wasn't he happy at his first school? He wasn't good at sports and he wasn't very popular. Where was his next school? In the city center. And the name of the school was Westminster School. Okay. What does Pete do now?
He is a journalist.
He's a journalist. Where do his parents live now? They still live in the same street. देखो बेटा आप लोग जवाब नहीं दे पाए जैसे किसी के मुंह से वो आवाज निकलने की तैयारी हुई ना वही है ग्रो जिनके लिप साइलेंट रह जाते हैं सवाल पूछ जाने पे वो अभी वहां नहीं पहुंच रहे हैं और इसकी सिर्फ एक वजह हो सकती है लैक ऑफ एफर्ट्स फ्रॉम योर साइड यू नीड टू स्पेंड टाइम विद द ऑडियो फिर से बताता हूं नई आवाज लाना जबान पे आसान काम नहीं होता अगर आप चाइनीज सीख रहे होते तो साल भर तो आप सोचते भी नहीं कि आप सेंटेंस बोलेंगे सोचते भी नहीं तो फ्लुएंसी की बात तो छोड़ दो यहाँ फ्लुएंसी की बात कर रहे हो और आप पीछे हो आपके मुंह पे आवाज नहीं निकल रही मैंने पूछा वेयर डू हिज पेरेंट्स लिव नाउ और आपके मुंह पे कोई आवाज ही नहीं आ पा रही है इसका मतलब आपका दिमाग अभी उस तरह से सोच नहीं पा रहा इसको सोचवाने के लिए क्या करना होगा गिव योरसेल्फ मोर टाइम लिसनिंग रीडिंग थिंकिंग किसी पे डाल नहीं सकते कि मेरे साथ कोई है नहीं प्रैक्टिस करने वाला ये सब कहते हैं ना पासिंग द बक पासिंग द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नो you have to take the responsibility you need to read you need to listen you need to think these are the things you need to do people often say I don't have anybody to talk to doesn't matter nobody's asking you to talk to anybody just listen read and think what do his parents where do his parents live now yeah you should feel like that way not under pressure from me it should just come out naturally his parents I try to show that ठीक है नहीं याद है लेकिन कम से कम इंग्लिश में हम इतने अच्छे हैं कि मेरे मुंह से क्या निकला his parents ये भी है इंग्लिश ये इंग्लिश बेहतर है किससे इस इंग्लिश से do you understand what I mean so अगर आपके लिप्स साथ में रह गए when I ask you a question तो आप एकदम जग थक बिहारी लैंग्वेज है बिहारी वर्ड मतलब आप एकदम जग थक पड़े हुए कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा नहीं है इट्स नॉट आइडियल सिचुएशन फॉर यू आपको जवाब नहीं पता इट्स ओके दिस नॉट अ टेस्ट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन His parents live in I can't remember, sir. देखो जवाब तो नहीं दिया लेकिन इंग्लिश तो बोल दी अच्छी खासी. जवाब नहीं दिया. Sir, his parents live in I don't remember, sir. तो इतना सारा बोलने वाला आदमी इंग्लिश बोल रहा है कि नहीं बोल रहा है? भले ही तुम्हें जवाब नहीं पता है तो तुम्हें जवाब से किसको इंटरेस्ट? तुम्हें ये दिखाना है कि आर यू इम्प्रूविंग और नॉट. तो करो, सुनने वाला काम करो, क्योंकि जिस रफ्तार से कर रहे हो बढ़ रहे हो आगे उस रफ्तार को बढ़ाया जा सकता है, स्लो किया जा सकता है. यू नो, एंड ये बढ़ाना और स्लो करना किस चीज से डिसाइड होगा? हाउ मच टाइम यू आर गिविंग listening to English and reading in English, thinking in English. So his parents still live in the same house, in the same street, in the old house. Now, the second part 3, this time again, listen to Olivia.
Olivia.
I'm married. I have 2 children, a son and a daughter. I live in Exeter in the southwest of England, but I wasn't born in England. I was born in East Africa, in Tanzania. My mum and dad were teachers there at the time. My mum's German, but she was born in Tanzania because my grandfather worked there. My dad is English. He's from the north of England, but after university he wanted to travel to Africa. My mum and dad were married there, and my brothers and I were born there. We were there until I was 10, and my brothers were 8 and 5. We were at the same school together. It wasn't in the town, it was in the bush, and it was great fun. There were only 2 classes, one for the young children, who were 5 and 6, and the other was for 6 to 11-year-old children. We couldn't play outside, it was too hot, and there were snakes. School finished at 1 o'clock every day, and our house was near the sea, so we could all go swimming every afternoon. My childhood was very happy, all sunshine and swimming.
So, if you enjoy listening to this voice, then of course you don't need any more motivation. And if you don't like the way she sounds, the way the words come out of her mouth, and if those things, the sound doesn't make you happy, then no motivation is enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you listen to her and you like her voice, you like the way she says things, okay, then you don't need any motivation. You will listen again. And if you don't like the way she sounds, okay, her voice, the way she says those words, you don't really find it interesting. काहे को सुनोगे तुम? बहुत मुश्किल है. Where does she live now? In Exeter. Exeter is a place in England. Number 2, how many children does she have? कितने बच्चे हैं उसके? How many children does she have? I will add you, Rishabh. I will add you. Don't worry. Can you join? मत बोलो बोलो. Can you add me? Join हम करेंगे. Can you join मतलब ज्वाइन करेंगे. वहां ज्वाइन वर्ड लिखा था ना, ज्वाइन ज्वाइन, तो सब लोग सोचते ज्वाइन. आप ज्वाइन करते हैं, हम आपको ऐड करते हैं. ओके, तो आप रिक्वेस्ट करिएगा सर हमको जोड़ दीजिए ना ग्रुप में. हमको कैन यू ऐड मी टू द ग्रुप? कैन यू पुट मी इन द ग्रुप? आई वांट टू ज्वाइन द ग्रुप. बेटा डाउनलोड टेलीग्राम. यस, ओके, एंड make an account and then save my number as well, okay, and message me. And if you can't find me, suppose you fail to find me on Telegram, it happens sometimes, then come with your mobile phone tomorrow so that I can help you, and then that's it, okay? How many children does she have? Number 3. Where were Olivia and her brothers
Where
born?
were Olivia and brother born?
In East Africa, in Tanzania. हिंदी में तंजानिया, in English में बोलते हैं Tanzania. 4. Is her mother
Is her mother
Is her mother English?
English.
No, she isn't. She is German. 5. What were her parents' jobs? They were both teachers. 6. Were her parents married in Tanzania? Yes. 7. Was her school in the town? Uska school town mein tha? Was her school in the town? It wasn't. It was in the bush. Bush matlab? Bush matlab? Very good. I like
The
the way
area of Mumbai.
I like the way you're thinking. Okay. Bush means कॉपी मत करो उसका आंसर, कोई फायदा नहीं है। वो बोला तुम्हारा वो आंसर नहीं है, झूठ ना बोलो, तुम अपना सोच के बताओ। इस क्लास में कॉपी पेस्ट करने का कोई फायदा नहीं, किसी का आंसर भी नहीं कॉपी करो, सोचो और बताओ। नहीं समझ में आ रहा, इट्स ऑलराइट। वो सोचा सही, डायरेक्ट उसका आंसर सही नहीं है, बट आई लाइक द वे ही थॉट। तुम्हें नहीं समझ में आएगा, तुम लोगों को ना बचपन से 2 वर्ड सिखाया गया, राइट रॉन्ग राइट रॉन्ग राइट रॉन्ग। मैंने उसकी तारीफ की, तुमको लगा उसका आंसर सही है। मैंने उसकी तारीफ की क्योंकि वो सोच सही डायरेक्शन में रहा है, और आपको सही डायरेक्शन में सोचना है, सही गलत नहीं होना है, अपने आप सब चीजें सही हो जाएंगी। बेटा बुश इज एन एरिया आउटसाइड द टाउन, ओके, एंड इट इज एन एरिया ऑफ लॉट्स ऑफ वाइल्ड ग्रास। वाइल्ड, when you use the word countryside, it refers to a beautiful place to live, a beautiful place to live with lots of mountains, rivers, lakes, trees, fields, countryside is a beautiful idea. But bush is not. Bush is an area of lots of wild grass, unwanted trees. All right. And usually you find them in Africa, jungle area. If you go out of Bihar, Sharif, do you see bush? No, you see fields. You don't see bushes in Bihar. But if you are in Tanzania and you are in a city, fine. But you go out of the city, you go out of the town, you will see big open areas with lots of wild grass. That's bush. So living in the bush is easy or challenging? And living in the countryside is fun, romantic, slow life, enjoy life. But I know why you said that, because you thought outside the town, so the countryside. तो मैंने कहा कि I like the way he's thinking, क्योंकि जो दिमाग लगाना था उसने लगाया, तो जो मैंने पढ़ाया उसके हिसाब से, क्योंकि उसने देखा इट इज नॉट इन द टाउन, तो टाउन में नहीं तो फिर बाहर, तो मैंने बता रखा है टाउन के बाहर क्या होता है, कंट्रीसाइड। लेकिन in Africa you don't have countrysides. Countryside refers to a beautiful, nice place, with rivers, lakes, and all these beautiful natural features, Okay, so bush, you can see the photo beta at the bottom. Okay, the school was in the bush. So they cut the grass, the wild grass, and then they have the land and they do. Africa is very backward, poor. Africa is not known for agriculture. Africa is known for wildlife. Africa is known for minerals. Metals and these things, Okay, next question, beta, number 8. Why couldn't the children play outside? बच्चे क्यों नहीं खेल पाते थे भाई? Why couldn't the children play outside? Because it was too hot and there were snakes. Okay, we have 20 minutes left. Okay, in 20 minutes we will try to understand what they're saying line by line. But did you write the audio script? Did you write the audio script? Audio script? Because I didn't ask you to. यही है तुम्हारा खुद का डेडिकेशन इंग्लिश के लिए। तुम करो ऐसे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, इससे तुम्हारी लर्निंग स्लो हो जाएगी और तुम्हें ज्यादा समय बिताना पड़ेगा। और तुम्हारी वैलिडिटी कोर्स की कितनी है? टी की वैलिडिटी कितनी है? 1 साल। तो अगर तुम दोबारा अगर इस 1 साल के बाद पढ़ोगे फिर से पैसे देने पड़ जाएंगे, ठीक है? इसलिए वैल्यू योर टाइम एंड स्टडी हार्ड, ओके? 1 year is more than enough. We will finish this course in 8 months. We still have 4 months left. So those people who need a little bit revision, I'll give them revision as well in another class, okay? But guys, if you are too slow, then of course it is going to be expensive for you, okay? Let's see. Let's listen to the characters one by one.
6. Parts 1 to 3. Pete.
I was born in London, in East London. Both my parents were born in London too. My dad was a taxi driver.
I was born in London. Both my parents were born in London too. What a nice way to learn the word both.
Pete. I was born in London.
See, everybody knows this sentence now. I was born in, right, Ayat Beta? I was born in this place. I was born in America. Okay, that's why my English is good. Okay. I was born in, okay,
In East London.
very good.
Both my parents were born in London too.
Both my parents were born in London too. Both my parents were born in London. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Leave it. Both my parents were born in London too. Mummy and Papa both were born in London. Both my parents. Okay. मेरे दोनों हाथ में दर्द है. Both my arms are hurting. Okay. Both my hands. Hands, by the way, here. Okay. Arms like this. Okay. I know कि ये भी बच्चों को क्लियर नहीं रहता बचपन में. अभी मैंने बताया ये क्या है और ये क्या है, हैंड्स, ओके? ये कट गया तो क्या कट गया, हैंड्स, और ये कट गया तो क्या कट गया, ओके? गॉट इट? लगता था कि हम जान रहे हैं, है ना? लेकिन इतने क्लैरिटी के साथ जान रहे थे तो अच्छी बात है, नहीं जान रहे थे तो अभी जानो, और ये भी जानो कि 3rd क्लास एजुकेशन था कि नहीं. अगर नहीं था तो तुम्हें हैंड और आर्म में भी फर्क नहीं समझ में आ रहा था. थिंक अबाउट इट. सो या बोथ माई, जो भी हाथ में दर्द है, बाजू में दर्द है, जो भी आप बोलो, जहां अगर दर्द है यहाँ तो क्या बोलेंगे, बोथ माई आर्म्स आर हर्टिंग. हर्टिंग, हर्टिंग, पेनिंग नहीं बोलो, बोथ माई आर्म्स आर हर्टिंग. मेरी दोनों आंखें जल रही है. बोथ माई आईज आर बर्निंग. ओके. मेरी दोनों गर्लफ्रेंड मुझसे शादी करना चाहती हैं. Both my girlfriends want to marry me. तो मुझे एक क्लोन बनवाना होगा. क्लोन, ये हाँ, एक डुप्लीकेट कॉपी. अदरवाइज हम अगेन, ना शेयरिंग इज नॉट ऑलवेज द ऑप्शन. किसने शेयर करने के लिए बोला? याद रखो, शेयर वहां किया जाता है जहाँ साइज सही हो. आप देखो अपनी उम्र, हमारी उम्र देखो. मेरे गर्लफ्रेंड्स आपके साथ नहीं एडजस्ट कर पाएंगे. माई गर्लफ्रेंड्स नीड ओल्डर मैन. ओके. They will call you beta. Okay, let's see.
My dad was a taxi driver.
My dad was a taxi driver
And my mum was a cleaner.
and my mom was a cleaner. Easy sentences. सुनते रहो.
My first school was next to our house.
हाँ, और एकदम ऐसे रश करके नहीं बोलना है, आराम से बोलना है. My first school was next to my house. और जो बोल रहे हैं उसके साथ अपने आप दिमाग के साथ कनेक्शन बनाना है कि हम ये बोल रहे हैं. My first school was next to my house.
That was good.
That was good. That was good. That was good. He didn't have any problem with that. He was happy about it. That was good. He liked the fact that his school was next to his house. Children like it when their school is not very far from their home. Right? If you have to travel 1 or 2 kilometers when you're a small child, It's not good for your mental peace. And that's why government say, send your children to a nearby school. Okay, and schools are given directives, take admission of those children who live in that area. Because it gives them mental security, that yes, I'm near my house. Imagine a child who is studying in a class school next to their house, okay? And is another child studying 5 kilometers from home. Now the teacher is being rude, the teacher is being bad. Then this child will feel more confident taking on the teacher, resisting the teacher, responding to the teacher boldly than that child. The child who is studying in a faraway school will feel nervous that I'm so far away from my home. But this child will think, hum daud ke bhag jayenge ghar. Right? So it's necessary that you send your children to schools nearby so that your children feel more comfortable at school, not very nervous. Anyways, he was happy about it. He said, that was good. That was good. What was good? The school was good. The fact that the school was next to my house.
But I think I was quite clever, you
I think I was quite clever. I think I was quite clever. I think I was quite clever. Quite. He's not saying I was really clever. If you want to say something good about yourself, is it a good idea to use really tall, really rich, really handsome? You don't say that. ठीक-ठाक handsome है, ऐसे बोलना चाहता है. Because you don't want to sound arrogant. I'm really handsome. Yeah, I'm quite okay. Yeah, like that. I was quite good at studies. I was quite clever. I was quite ठीक-ठाक अच्छे थे पढ़ने में. ऐसे. I was really clever. बहुत अच्छे थे पढ़ने. Doesn't sound very polite. Doesn't sound very modest. Okay. So I was quite clever.
see. I could read. Mum was a cleaner. My first school was next to our house. That was good, but I think I was quite clever, you see. I could read and write when I was just 6 or 7.
I could read and write when I was just 6 or 7. Yeah.
But I wasn't much good at sport.
But I wasn't much good at sports. And there was this expression, you see, before he said, I could read and write when I was 7. He said, you see, I could read and write when I was just 7. So you see is used to explain something. When you explain something, then before the explanation, you add you see. Let me explain. Your friend is inviting, okay, to a party. But you say, I can't come. And then you give the explanation. You see, my parents are very angry these days with me. What did you say? You see, my parents are very angry these days with me. So you see is used here to explain why you're saying you are not coming to the party. You see, my parents are very angry with me these days. They shout at me all the time the moment I get out of my room or go out of home. So I'll pass. Okay. I'll pass means I will not come to the party. Okay. Yeah. You see means you understand? A girl is talking to another girl that, why she is not happy with her boyfriend. Okay. ठीक तो है यार फिर क्या? You see, he always talks to other girls in the class. He always talks to the other girls in the class. उसने भी you see कहा. तो वो explain कर रही है क्या problem उसको हो रहा है. You see, he always talks to other girls in the class. Simple.
I couldn't.
So you see is used to. Acha, do you not know the phrase I see? I see. People use I see when they understand the explanation. When somebody gives some explanation, something, and you say, oh, I see, means, oh, I understand. So I see means, oh, I understand. And you see means you are explaining something. After you see, you give the explanation. So he told you. First he said, I was quite clever. And then he explained, you see, I could read and write when I was just 7.
I think I was quite clever, you see. I could read and write when I was just 6 or 7, but I wasn't much good at sport.
But I wasn't much good at sports. But I wasn't much good at sports. I wasn't much good at sports. Good at. Good in, no. Good at. People often say good in because in Hindi we say खेल कूद में, पढ़ाई में, and they think पढ़ाई में अच्छा, good in studies? No, good at studies. मैं पढ़ाई में अच्छा हूँ. I'm quite good at studies. अपने बारे में बोल रहे तो quite लगा देते हैं, ठीक ठाक है ना? I'm quite good at studies. I play chess quite well. I play chess quite well. ठीक ठाक खेलते हैं. You wanted to play with me, Sajid? Who wanted to play chess with me here? Somebody said they wanted to play chess with me here. One?
Yes, sir.
Who? You, Rishabh, you.
Yes.
Oh, Rishabh wanted to play chess with me. Okay, fine. When you are here, we will play.
Okay.
All right then.
sport. I couldn't play football. I think I was quite clever, you see. I could read and write when I was just 6 or 7, but I wasn't much good at sport.
If you have something to say, I can stop it and listen to you, no problems. Okay, like if students have some comments to make, I welcome them, but don't talk to your friends, talk to me. Okay, yeah. फिर मुझे यहाँ भी इग्नोर फील कराओगे. स्कूल में तो हम इग्नोर फील हुए ही. Nobody talked to me. Now you're doing the same thing to me here. At least here talk to me, okay? Yeah, please.
I couldn't play football like the other boys.
I couldn't play football like the other boys. I couldn't play like the other boys. It means the other boys played and he couldn't. I couldn't play. जैसे वो खेलते थे वैसा नहीं खेल पाता. He couldn't play football like the other boys. हम तुम्हारी तरह गा नहीं पाते. I can't sing like you. जैसा तुम गाते वैसा नहीं गा पाते. गाते हैं उतना अच्छा नहीं होता है. Right? I can't. हम तुम्हारी तरह क्यों नहीं बोल पाते यार? Why can't I talk like you in English? Okay. Any problems? Like you. Okay.
I couldn't really kick a ball at all.
I couldn't really kick a ball at all. I couldn't really kick a ball at all. I couldn't really kick a ball at all. At all is used to emphasize the negative statement. At all is used to emphasize the negative statement. When you have a negative statement and you want to emphasize it, you can put at all. I couldn't really kick a ball. हमसे तो ball kick भी नहीं होता था. I couldn't kick a ball at all. Okay.
I wasn't popular at school.
I wasn't popular at school. Okay, what is the difference between famous and popular? I have a joke, but this time this joke is political joke, okay? Popular and famous, okay? Rahul Gandhi is famous. Modi is popular, okay? Popular, he is popular, means people like him. And Rahul Gandhi, they know him. So he is famous. Rahul Gandhi is, everybody knows Rahul Gandhi's name, almost, right? Only if you live under a rock, you won't know Rahul Gandhi's name. Otherwise, you will know who Rahul Gandhi is. Rahul Gandhi is getting married. Well, yeah, getting married. He is getting married. When? After he becomes prime minister. Okay. Let me say one more thing. Abhi aaya joke. Rahul Gandhi is popular. Did you get that word play? इसको word play कहते हैं. क्या कहते हैं इसको? Word play. Popular को मैंने क्या बनाया? Popular. He is popular. Because everybody calls him? So? Popular. ये word play था. बाकी आपके opinions, political opinion जैसी भी है सब सही है. कोई problem नहीं है. Okay, I have no problems. You like the Congress, you like the BJP, I don't care a damn. I don't care a? For me, it doesn't matter. क्योंकि मैंने लाइफ में कुछ साल इसको सपोर्ट किया, कुछ साल उसको सपोर्ट किया, फिर कुछ साल बदल के सपोर्ट किया. It's all right. It's totally fine. Huh? Not in the class. Nah. But I must tell you that personally for me, I have never spoiled my relationship with anybody because of their political opinions. Because politics the politics है भाई. दोनों में से कोई राक्षस नहीं है, दोनों में से कोई महात्मा नहीं है. Do you understand what I mean? That's simple. So whether you support this party or that party doesn't really make me angry. No, not at all. He's really getting married. Okay, to Miss World 2024. Two. An MP. He's getting married to an MP. चलो, कम से कम घर में रोटी आता रहेगा. Okay. All right, let's see. I like Rahul Gandhi, and I want to see him as Prime Minister. I want to see him as Prime Minister. But first of all, he needs to change a little bit, his attitude a little bit. He looks like an opportunist, I mean, most politicians are opportunists, but there are certain things about him that make me feel. There was a time I was so fond of Rahul Gandhi. My father was a devoted congressman, he had his, party cadre, party activist. So my father actually was in the Congress. Yeah. But then I realized that when I grew up and I grew older, I started to realize that this guy is not doing the right thing. I think one big mistake Sonia Gandhi made, again, now I'm talking about it as a teacher, not as a person. Sonia Gandhi should have become Prime Minister in 2014. She should have taken in 2004. She should have taken the responsibility. She said, no, I will not be Prime Minister. Manmohan Singh will be Prime Minister. That was stupid. Very, very bad. And that is the reason why today what Congress is facing today. No party can be in power forever. Every party has to go out for some time because people get fed up. After a certain time, people say, bahut ho gaya, hatao isko, dusre ko lao. Okay. So, and people also become arrogant now. If they are in power continuously for a long time, they become arrogant. Nobody will harm me. Nobody can do anything. So they start doing bad things when people stay in power for too long. So political parties will keep changing. That's normal. But what I'm saying is, she did not accept prime ministership. There are a lot of theories. She said this, she said that. But I think she should have been brave. She should have trusted herself. And she should have said, okay, people want me to be Prime Minister. I will be Prime Minister. Because people voted for the Congress in 2004. And she was president of Congress. But she got a little nervous, I think. She chickened out because she was afraid she would be killed and whatever. I hear that Rahul Gandhi also said to her, don't be Prime Minister, because my father died, Dadi died, you will also die. So it's true. There was danger to her life. There were a lot of people who were very angry that a Videshi will become our Prime Minister. I feel very angry when somebody calls Sonia Gandhi Videshi. Sonia Gandhi is not a Videshi. ऐसे करोगे तो फिर तो भैया कौन है देशी? अरे तुम्हारे घर की बहू है वो, राजीव गांधी की वाइफ बन के आई वो. जज हर फॉर एवरीथिंग. गलत किया, सही किया, मेक अ स्टेटमेंट, बट डोंट से एनीथिंग अबाउट हर विदेशी. दैट्स वेरी रॉन्ग. ये आज के डेट में मैं बताता हूँ, मैं ऐसे कोई जानवर टाइप से सोच रखने वाले लोग के साथ कभी नहीं हो सकता, चाहे ये साइड रहे चाहे वो साइड. ओ अब्यूज हर बिकॉज शी इज विदेशी. व्हाट डू यू मीन शी इज विदेशी? कल मेरे बेटे की एक वाइफ आएगी, भतीजे की वाइफ आएगी विदेशी, और लोग उसको ताना मारेंगे विदेशी है. आई वोंट लाइक इट. अगर वो यहाँ आ जाती है, साड़ी पहनती है, यहाँ की भाषा सीखती है, एंड शी लिव्स इन दिस कंट्री, और आप उसको विदेशी कहते रहोगे? हाउ फेयर इज इट? तो कुछ लोगों का सर्व करता है पर्पस बिकॉज दे आर इन पॉलिटिक्स, तो इसलिए उनका फायदा है, बट अदरवाइज इट्स ओके. नोबडी इज दूध का धुला ना. Nobody is, pure here in this business of politics. Everybody is dirty. Less dirty or more dirty? There is nobody no dirty. Everybody is dirty. A little less, a little more. Okay. So we will carry on, of course, when we meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow it's Tuesday. And please guys, अगर आपके लिप्स साथ रह जाते हैं, मैं जब कुछ पूछता हूं और आपका दिमाग तैयार नहीं है तुरंत जवाब देने के लिए, तो आप इसी को बना लो स्टैंडर्ड कि ये चेंज होना चाहिए. जैसे ही मेरे सामने कोई कुछ बोलेगा तो मेरे मन में रिएक्शन आना चाहिए कि ये बोलना है मुझे. जवाब देना मतलब जानना. जैसे मैंने फिर पूछ दिया आपसे, वेयर वाज ओलिविया बोर्न? ओलिविया वाज बोर्न इन मतलब आपको याद नहीं आ रहा है, मतलब आपको आंसर नहीं पता है. इट्स ऑल राइट, लेकिन यू स्पोक ना. और अगर आप ऐसे हो जाते हैं, वेयर वॉज ओलिविया बॉर्न, तो ये अच्छा नहीं है। आपको मतलब समझ में आया है? आपको पता होना चाहिए कि इसका जवाब ऐसे दिया जाना है। जगह नहीं मालूम है, इट्स ऑल राइट, बट ओलिविया वाज बोर्न इन दानापुर, no 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 दानापुर, पंजानिया, no 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 पंजानिया, तंजानिया तंजानिया, ऐसे ऐसे चलेगा। लेकिन आप कम से कम ये सेंटेंस तक तो आए। और जिसको तंजानिया याद हो ऐसे करते, शी वाज बोर्न इन तंजानिया, ठीक है, रट्टा मार के, वो भी अच्छा नहीं है। इसको आपको महसूस करना होगा कि मेरा सवाल कैसे जवाब दिया जाना चाहिए। तो बोलने के लिए आपको सुनना है और उसको महसूस करना है। और अगर आपकी जब जबान सटी रह जाती है सवाल पूछे जाने पे और आपका दिमाग खाली रह जाता है, तो इसको स्टैंडर्ड मान लो कि ये फेल वाला स्टैंडर्ड है, इसको हटाना है, इसको चेंज करना है मुझे।